And I guess it's going to be a tie. I forget what the damage calculation is in ties. But I guess we're... Okay. Oh my god. We just lost 15 health in a tie. What's going on, guys? This is BunnyMuffins. In my meta snapshot I just released, I told you guys that Jack's Knights were the hidden OP of this patch, and no surprise there. I look at a data website, tactics.tools, and this comp is listed at the top, but I wanted to take this to the next level. So I talked to the owner of the site, and he was telling me that Hecarim is also OP. So then we proposed the idea, what happens if we combine Knights with the Hecarim? So we start off the game here. We got a belt from the Callista, we get a chain vest from our first minion round, and then we're going to pick up the Kled and the Poppy, maybe do some sort of Hellion start. We could also pick up the Aatrox to get Legionnaires with the Callista. After that, we are going to look into our next shop. I'm going to pick up the pair of Leonas because that's going to give us 2 Knights. And, you know, put the 2 Leonas in, then drop in the Poppy. That's pretty much going to be our tanks for the early part of the game. And then in this next shop, we see 2 Hecarims. So obviously this was a game to go for that type of strategy. I'm going to play both the Hecarims in right now, drop in the Kled for Cavaliers, and I'm also going to try to level up by selling that Lulu, and then drop in someone else, I think the Poppy and the Leona, to get 2 Cavalier and 2 Knights already. We could build the Sunfire Cape, which is on our bench, but I decided to hold off because we are going to go into a Armory in the next round. But as you guys can see here, we're facing someone who isn't really that strong, so this is kind of like an easy win. But I don't like slamming items that early that much anymore, but unless it's like the best item for the comp, I tend to not build it. Sunfire's decent, but this is what we get rewarded for waiting. We get a chain vest, so we could immediately build a bramble vest on the Hecarim. If you guys are looking for an integrated screen recorder and video editor, let me show you guys DemoCreator from Wondershare. What I like about it the most is that it records all sources separately so that you can edit them after you record. So let me show you exactly what that means. So we open the app right here. We are going to press record game. And then right away, you can see my face there. You guys can change the settings around. If you guys want to do a green screen effect, there's a facial recognition feature where you just press a button and then it kind of just takes out your background. I am blue right now. I was just playing around with a couple effects before as I was like testing the app. But you could select your game here. You could also select a different window. I'm going to select my Firefox window and press OK. So we started the recording here. So we are just going to click around to try to get some footage. And then once we are done with that, we are going to press stop recording. And then we are taken directly to the video editor where we can drag and drop the file that we recorded. And then you guys will see here that we have our face and the recording window in 2 separate instances, which means you can move around your camera however you please, which is really convenient because some people have their face blocking the minimap or whatnot. And you could adjust all that in post. So one thing that's pretty useful is that you could add in a lot of pre-built text effects and all sorts of stickers, which they all have in the app. So for stickers, they have a subscribe animation that you could just add in right away, and then it'll give you like a subscribe green screen without having to download one. So if you guys want to get started in video editing, check out the description below for the download link, and you will also get access to this huge library of free effects with that download as well. So thanks so much to Wondershare for showing us this product, and let's get right back to the video. So we get a Poppy 2, we get a Leona 2. I'm going to slam the Bramble Vest, and then that is pretty much going to be our team for the early game. We got a bunch of level 2s, we got an item we wanted, not too much more you can ask for. We are facing a guy, he's running, I think like Sentinels with Skirmishers maybe. He's got like a Nidalee and an Olaf. And, oh man, we are not killing that Rakan healing. This Rakan is just... like, anything with healing is going to be the counter to our comp because we don't really have a lot of damage, so we just do a lot of damage over time from the Hecarim, from the Bramble Vest, and just not enough for that team. So in this new shop, nothing here, so we're going to skip ahead. And in this next fight, we are facing a guy with a Sunfire Cape. That's going to be another L in our books because, again, we just don't have enough damage to really go through these guys. He's got a Vayne in the back. Like, this Gragas is way too tanky for my team. But once we start getting stuff like Sunfire Cape ourselves, once we start getting something like an Ionic Spark, the build is definitely going to take on a whole new level. So I am going to grab this Chain Vest. That is going to complete our item. Another option is going for the Negatron Cloak to build a Dragon Claw, another really effective item in this comp. But we're going to pick up the Kled too here. We're going to build the Sunfire Cape. Probably going to put it on maybe one of our Knights. It could be Kled as well. I wouldn't really mind either. It's eventually going to go on Sejuani, so it doesn't really matter who we put it on right now because we are going to be selling Poppy, Leona, and the Kled eventually. But we'll drop it on Kled for now. Once we get a Sejuani, we could swap it over. I'm going to level up, drop in the Vayne for Forgotten, and then I'm going to scout around. No one's really going for Hecarim, so this is good for us because this is the comp that we are going for. So it's always important to scout around in the early game to see what your opponents are going and to see if they are going for your comp, especially if you're thinking of forcing it. Even though we built the Bramble Vest and the Sunfire Cape already, we could still go into any comp. We're not necessarily forced to go into the Hecarim. I'm going to swap the Vayne out for this Misfortune, and now we are on the Golem rounds. We won the last round, and I am going to pick up this Kled, and let's see what else we get. I'm going to pick up the new Kled because we need to get a new Kled eventually if we want to run 4 Cavaliers. We get a bunch of gold there, even more gold there, so we're at 29 gold, so unfortunately I have to sell him to get up to 30 gold. I see 2 Nunus, a Karma, and a Sejuani in our shop. That's a shame. Nunu is really broken in this meta right now, but I do want to go this Hecarim build because no one else is going for it. We also have the Karma if we wanted to do that, but again, just not the right time or the right place. Let's see how this fight's going. He's got a Zeke's Vayne. We are actually winning this one, so we're on like a mini 3-game win streak. Pretty decent if we get to streak. Normally I'm lose streaking during these rounds when I tried this in previous games, but we get another Sejuani here. We did get an early Hecarim. We're still hard stuck Hecarim 1, but once we get him 2-star, we should be all fine and dandy. But another thing about this comp, guys, is that it is very easy to play because you are playing a reroll comp. So we just are going for level 6 reroll, which just means we are trying to get to level 6 with as much economy as possible, and then we will roll down to 50 gold every single turn while on level 6 because level 6 is the optimal time to roll for level 2 champions. So right here we are at 62 gold, 12 out of 20 XP, so we're going to level up, or sorry, pre-level, and we're going to be 18 out of 20 XP, which means next round we will get to level 6. I want this belt. This guy takes it, so I'm going to go for the rod instead. Bow doesn't really do much in this comp except for Titan's Resolve, but we already have an armor item from the Bramble Vest, so we don't want that. But see here, we are level 6, we have 63 gold. I'm going to roll down to try to find all the 2-cost units that we desperately need, such as Hecarim, Sejuani, Nautilus, and Thresh. Those are all Knights and Cavaliers, and those are going to be like the main beef of our comp. We're rolling down, we see a 2-star Hecarim, that is great, that's exactly what we wanted. And then we're going to roll one more time, we see another Kled, but not really too important, and then we're going to sell our bench to get back to 50 gold. So if we win this round, we're at 49, we will get the win gold and then get back up to 50. Let's see if we actually win though. This guy's going Abominations with Zyra, pretty strong comp, but it got nerfed a little bit, so it's not that great anymore, but perhaps in the future it might come back, maybe people figure out different ways of playing it. But it looks like we are able to pull this one out. Hecarim is too tanky to be killed by this Seraph's Embrace with the Zyra. Now the fun begins. We are getting our Radiant items because it's stage 3-6. Out of all these, the Radiant Stoneplate probably is the best item. We don't really need Jeweled Gauntlet, don't really need Last Whisper. Shoujin's alright on Thresh, but nothing that crazy, and Hat doesn't really do too much for us. We like all the tank items, so Stoneplate probably going to be the best. I'm going to drop that on Hecarim. I'd prefer other stuff though, maybe like a Dragon Claw. That would have been pretty cool on Hecarim, so that he has a Bramble Vest for physical damage, and then the Dragon Claw for magic damage. We're going to sell our extra Kled, put the Sunfire Cape on our Sejuani, and we also fit in 4 Knights, which is something that we didn't have before because we were playing the Kled. But now that we have 4 Knights, we could actually play them. So in this next match, we are going to roll down one last time. We're going to pick up the Jax. We are seeing this guy. Oh, this is the Nidalee guy from before. And he's got an Aurelia 2 with a Redemption up front. So thank God we got that Sunfire Cape because that is going to be our main damage against that healing. We also get the healing reduction from the Sunfire. But this fight, we're kind of getting outclassed right now. I think once we get Hecarim 3, this guy will be a lot more manageable. Maybe if we get one more item on Hecarim, that could be useful too. But you guys can see already how tanky he is. He's tanking like 3 or 4 people with that Radiant Stoneplate. Unfortunately, not enough because we do end up losing that round by quite a bit. 4 units is a pretty hefty loss. We get a couple more units that we like though. We have the Rel. We probably want to fit her in somehow. I think I'm going to put back in the Cavaliers because Rel is a better unit than some of those other guys. Probably want to roll down a little more. We get a Thresh and another Sejuani. That's a Sedge too. That's very welcome. And then now I want to put in Thresh and probably want to put in this Nautilus. We get some gold, a Negatron, and a bow. So that is perfect. We have a Rod and a Negatron. That's going to be a Ionic Spark. So we're going to do another quick scout. No one's going our comp, so we have more confidence to keep rolling. Nothing there. We get a Nautilus 2 and a Hecarim, so we're going to put Nautilus back in for Knights and Ironclad. And we could probably roll one more time because, yeah, we have those extra units. There's another Jax. I do want to play the Jax, and there's another Hecarim. Perfect. So we are looking really, really good. If we had like a Nico, that'd be really cool, but just doesn't happen in every game that you play. But let's see what this guy has. He's going Abominations. A lot of Abomination players. Or is this the same one from before? I forget. But he's got Warmogs on Brand. Interesting. And then he's got the Shojin Jeweled Gauntlet on the Zyra. And he has a Titan's Resolve as well on his A-Bomb, which just spawned. A-Bombs spawn a lot quicker now than they did in set 5. You now only have to wait for 2 units to die instead of 3. But I think we are chilling because I think the Sejuani, she's just not dying at all. Same for the Hecarim. So with the Sunfire Cape, with the Ionic Spark, that is enough damage to take out this guy's team, which is good for us because I feel like I don't feel strong, but I don't feel weak either. We're kind of in that weird spot where we're in between the Hecarim 3 and the Hecarim 2, but we do have good items on him. So we have a Glove or a Chain Vest. I'm going to take the Chain Vest because Glove doesn't really build too much. Worst case, I could build like a Guardian Angel with this Chain Vest, but we roll down more. Hecarim Nautilus, nothing here, nothing here. Ooh, there's another Sejuani, but we're pretty far from her, so I guess we just stop there. This guy, he is playing Rangers, so he's got a Zeke's Herald, he's got the Aphelios, which we hooked, he's got 2 items on him, but Aphelios is not 2-star yet, so I feel pretty confident that we can beat him. His team's a little weak for this point in the game for how much gold he rolled, because he's only got 20 gold at level 7 with a Nico. So he's probably just waiting for that last Aphelios to really just round out his team. And again, you guys can see here, against any low damage team, they're just not going to be able to kill us. Whether we kill them is a different question, because we're going to overtime like every single fight, and it's getting me a tiny bit nervous. Alright, so new round, we get a Thresh and a Sejuani. There's another Thresh, and we could roll like once more. I think we sell the Nautilus because we're the furthest away from Nautilus 3 to pick up this Hecarim. And now, okay, that was pretty easy, not too bad. Normally it doesn't happen that easily for me, so sometimes you want to go for 3-star Thresh, Sejuani, and everything, but since we have the Hecarim already and we're pretty far from Sejuani and Thresh, I'm not going to complete this Thresh 2 on our bench because I just want to level up instead. I don't want to roll at level 6 any longer because we got the most important guy, we got Hecarim, and that's pretty much all we need. I'd say the order of importance of your guys, by the way, we got smashed by this guy. He's got level 2 Jax and he's got a level 2 Lucian somehow at level 7. That's absolutely nuts. And he's got 2 Thieves Gloves. Holy cow. But what was I saying before? The priority is going to be... Let's grab a Negatron here. But the unit priority is going to be Hecarim, and then Sejuani, and then Thresh, and then Nautilus. But we're going to drop this Jackson. We actually have decent Jax items. We're going to build a Bloodthirster on him, and we have the extra bow, which probably will go on him. We could also just build a Titans on him if we want the Power Spike right away, but I think I want to greed our items a little bit before we do that. Alright, this guy's got a Lucian. He's going to be tickling us because he's only level 1, and he's got a Warmog, so he's got like 2 healing items in Handed Justice and Bloodthirster, and then a Warmog, so this Lucian isn't going to do anything for damage. So with the Hecarim 3-star, this one's easy as pie. Yeah, and the Sunfire Cape, we're going to get like a 6 or 7 unit win. I can't really count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unit win. That's going to be good DPS against him. So we're on Raptors now. I guess we try to level up. We're going to passively put our points into our leveling and pretty much just chill from there. Once you get the 3 stars that you want, you just do a power level to try to get as many units in as possible, fit in as many synergies as possible. The next guy we want to put in, honestly, might be probably 4 Knights because we're only running 2 right now. So I'm going to put the bow on Jax with the Chain Vest because that's a Titan's Resolve. With the tier, you could build a Frozen Heart, not really that great. And then Static Shiv, not that great either, so it's pretty much a no-brainer to build a Titans here on the Jax because he's our only other damage dealer right now. So one thing to keep in mind is like, what units do we actually want later parts in the game? So for the 4 Knights, I prefer having Garen, Galio, Thresh, and Nautilus, but that can't always happen. So if we don't get Garen, we could play like Galio plus a either Knight Spatula or just a Leona or a Poppy, preferably Leona, but those are the only Knights in the game. So we'll just have to stay tuned for that. So Action's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have played much of him. He pretty much just jumps all around the map. Look at that. It's like so cool to watch. He's not doing too much damage to our guys, but I'm sure against other teams that are less tanky, he is hurting them quite a bit. One thing with Jax, itemization on him, Bloodthirster I feel like is a must. After that, you probably want something like high damage like a Runons or RFC. We got a Sejuani there. Maybe we could go for Sedge 3, but I'm really mainly just leveled up and rolled down to try to get Rel 2, Jax 2, or Galio. We end up getting the Galio there, so we swapped out our team a little bit. We have the 4 Knights now. I went ahead and bench Kled, but I might keep him in case we go 9 and put him in later. But yeah, we want all the 4-cost units. I played this comp a couple of times, and honestly, it is really hard to get Galio and Rel, because everyone is playing them right now. So if you don't get them early, you might not get them later, and that might cost you to lose the game because you just don't have any of the 4-cost units that you need. So this guy almost beat us, but not even close. Hecarim did a clean 1v5 and knocked that guy out with the Bramble Vest. And new round, we're going to roll down for 4-cost. We have a pair of Rels now, pair of Rel, pair of Jax, so we are definitely going to roll to 0 to try to get at least one of them to 2-star. We end up getting the Rel, so we could chill for a bit there. Okay, so this guy is a little healthy. We are on a win streak, and right off the bat, we are seeing our Thresh hook the backline. Our Jax died, unfortunately. We have Hecarim still up, though. I don't see Sejuani. Did she die? Oh, this guy got Sunfire off of a Thieves' Gloves. That's going to be super annoying for us, because that's going to reduce Hecarim's healing eventually. And holy cow, this is a lot of units. Looking like a loss there. Not the end of the world. Yeah, the A-bomb comes out. So we're looking pretty screwed here. But, you know, can Hecarim still do this? Oh no, overtime's ending a little too soon. And I guess it's going to be a tie. I forget what the damage calculation is in ties. But I guess we're... Okay. Oh my god. We just lost 15 health in a tie. Whatever the case, we are going to go for the Sunfire Cape to put on our Rel. I like having 2 Sunfire Capes because it pretty much doubles the damage because these fights last so dang long. So you put Sejuani on the left, Rel on the right, or vice versa, and then they both end up dealing a ton of AoE damage with that Sunfire Cape. But that one got taken, so I'm just going to go for the RFC for our Jax. I don't really like Morello that much because it takes too long to apply. But we're just going to sell the Ziggs, drop the RFC on our Jax. And this guy's got Galio, 2-star, Rel 2-star. You guys see what I'm talking about now, right? Everyone's going for Galio and Rel, so it's really hard to get them if people don't die in the game. But yeah, that Rel got a huge AoE stun on us. But I think we are still chilling against him because we hooked his Aphelios to the middle of the map, so that means he should be taking Sunfire damage pretty soon. Never mind, our Sunfire got killed. Can Hecarim do this? Can he do that? Don't tell me we lose 2 ties in a row, because whenever you tie, you do lose health, but this time we're against a ghost, so it's just like a flat-out loss because we're not even dealing damage to anyone. It is looking like that. Okay, never mind. Hecarim was able to pull it off. This guy has, like, all the rangers attacking so dang quickly. It's actually insane. Okay, that was a close one. Made it by 1 second. So we have the Gargoyle Stoneplate, a new one. I'm going to put this on Rel. Maybe Sejuani can use it too, but we only have a 2-star Sejuani, so it's probably just going to go on Rel. I'm going to roll down here because we are at 41 health. We don't really have all the 2-stars that we want. We want Jax and Galio, so that's why I want to roll down right now before I go level 9. I missed the Leona there. I probably should have bought that, but maybe we get Thresh 3 randomly, but there's a Sejuani, there's a Nautilus. Oh, no, I missed the Sejuani. And then we're going to roll down a little bit more. Okay. Not getting too much there. Not getting any of the forecasts we want, but we do get the Sejuani 3-star just in time. This is why it's always important to review your games, because sometimes you're thinking like, man, I am not seeing a certain unit, but then you just rolled over it by accident, because accidents do happen. It's just a video game. We're not using our entirely full mental capacity all the time. Sometimes we're playing after we get back home from work. Sometimes we're playing after we, like, did stuff all day. Really, the circumstances change every single time, but whatever your goals are in TFT, whether it's to turbo climb, whether it's just to have fun, make sure you are achieving that goal. But VOD reviews, if you are trying to get better, are a very good way to do it, because you could realize a lot of the mistakes you made in the game, and it's not just rolling over stuff. Most of the time it's like, oh, should I have even rolled here? Should I have leveled here? What item should I have made when you have like 6 item components, for example, because there are a lot of different options you could go for there. Maybe you skipped over a certain 4 cost or 5 cost in your shop that you really could have taken advantage of later. But we get the Jax. Oh, there's that little thingy. Wait a minute. We lost in a tie again. I was about to say, I thought we won that last round, but we have the red mark on our dude. I guess we just put the Thieves Gloves on our Thresh and our Leona. The reason why I put it on Leona is because we're going to sell her really soon. Once we level up to level 9, Leona's going to be a goner, and then we're just going to put in Volibear, for example, once we get Garen. So once we get Garen, sell the Leona, put in Garen, put in Volibear at level 9, just because Volibear is a strong unit. It could be any random legendary, depending on who we have items for, but since we have a bunch of tank items, I want to play more tanks. But this guy's Action 2. Action 2's got nothing on us. He's got a Sunfire Cape on him for some reason. But yeah, I don't really know why. I don't even know how that works on Action. But 2 Volibears there, so we're looking in a pretty good spot. We are facing, alright, a guy with Lucian with all the defensive items in the world. I wonder what made him go for this Lucian build. I thought he was going to sell the Lucian once he had those items, because I don't really think those fit on him. But maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he's doing pretty well this game, so maybe he was able to beat a lot of other people with those defensive items, but we're not even facing many assassins there. I don't think there was a single assassin this game, so that is really weird as well. Man, this Viego stole our 3-star Sejuani. Ah, God. Alright, so... Oh, Hecarim, he's got this 1v5 pretty easily there, but the Stoneplate paid off huge this game, I am going to say, because it got a lot. Oh my god, it tied again. We were gonna beat him, so I don't really think that's fair. Wait a minute. Imagine winning off a tie in Teamfight Tactics. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. Definitely try out this comp and let me know how it goes for you in the comments, but apart from that, I'll see you guys later.